everyone, Andrew Summers here with a video on my Bullpup Armored Combat Vehicle. Now as you can see, it is a 4x4, which I don't think I've done in a fair amount of time, so I think it's about high time for one. Now, just some background on this model. This has sort of been with me, not in this specific iteration in camouflage and everything, but the lineage of this vehicle dates back to 2011. Back then, I decided I'd create sort of a vehicle that was a mix between a Humvee, a Iveco LMV, and some other light utility trucks. And I put that together, came out with it in 2011, and since then it's been through tons and tons of versions. So it's gone from all gray to this, it's gone from different construction, I've changed everything. Pretty much everything to the vehicle, and here's where it's at today. Now, of course, since it is a land vehicle, it has some of the stuff well, at this point I would think you've come to expect from all my land vehicles, and that would be steering and suspension. So the front set of wheels, those of course, well, those move, so I can move those back and forth like so. Turning radius on this is actually surprisingly good, which makes for some rather fun playing. So the wheels in the front, they steer. Then you also got some mobility here for suspension. Same with the rear ones, they do that as well. But other than that, what I always find funny on this vehicle is that it seems as the size of this vehicle has gone down, or it's adjusted over the years, the amount of features has gone up. As it stands, this vehicle is roughly, at its core, it's 7 studs wide. With overhang here and there, it's 8 studs wide. But previous versions I've had of this vehicle, I think the first version I came out with all the way back in 2011, that was like 8 studs wide. It didn't have an opening hood, or, it barely had any features. But as I've, progressed on this design, I've worked on some of that stuff. Now that I mention it, opening hood, this does indeed have one. So I can lift it by, let's see if I can manage to do it without breaking it. There we go! So yeah, I can open up the hood that way. And if you're wondering what I opened up the hood with, that bit, that would be a wire cutter. So a little katana being used as a wire cutter. But yeah, you can look inside, there's an engine right there. Sort of a hybrid engine, eco-friendly and efficient and all that. And I can close it, and you can see the silly looking katana right there. Other stuff on the front, down here where the license plate is at, which I keep just for, I don't know, just for the heck of it, there is a winch. So I'm not really going to unreel it that much, because it's always a pain to put back in its place. But yeah, there's a winch right here, which I can reel in and out if I want to torture myself doing so. Other features on this build are the construction itself. The construction, you can see here, it's studs not on top. It's snotted design. So with that, I've angled the bricks on their sides like so. The T-slopes right here, the 45 degree, not 45 degree, I think it's like 30 degree angle, or whatever the angle is, meshes up perfectly. If you're wondering how I've done that, I can give you a little pro tip here. So you have a hinge brick right here that's connected to your assembly, which is this clip, a headlight brick, another T-slope, and then a T-slope on top of that. And when you snot out the rest of the roof, like I've done here, you mesh up the angles, and then you get some really nice shaping there. But since we're on the side of this vehicle now, the doors, they do open. They're a bit finicky to do, so let's see if I can do this without breaking it apart. Breaking apart and being finicky is sort of a common theme with this vehicle. I suppose a lot of my other models, come to think of it. But hey, it works. So yeah, the doors open like that. I can close them, as you would expect. And believe it or not, I can actually fit 4 minifigures in here. Combat ready, they got helmets, vests on, and everything. And if you're wondering how I do that, Well, we'll get to that in a little bit, so just be patient. So moving on to the back of the model, or as I like to call it, the ass end of the model. We can see a spare tire right here. We've also got a tow hitch down there, some rope detail. And I think probably my favorite part of this build is the lift back and swing gate system. So the back end, it actually opens. So I can open it all the way like that, and then I can pull out the swing gate right here. Now it's funny because when I was building this, at least funny to me, when I was building this, I didn't have the swing gate. I just had the lift gate. And I was thinking, it would be so great if I could rework this thing so that I do have just that one added layer of extra feature or playability. And with a bit of reworking on the interior, I was able to include that swing gate. So now with the swing gate and lift gate open, you can see that there are supplies in the trunk end. So you got a briefcase, you got, I don't know, whatever thing that is. There's actually a couple traffic cones. You just got a bag of sorts right there. Spare ammo box for the turret, which we'll get to after this. And then 2 cylinders of, I don't know, canned food. But yeah, having said that, we can button it back up like that, and then like that. So it's always fun playing with that lift gate and swing gate combo. But as I said before, the turret. Now the turret is supposed to be like a 20mm auto cannon. And I added that as a cannon feature on this instead of a 50 caliber because I saw, God, I don't know what it was. I think it was an MATV using a large autocannon, and I thought it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So I decided to make my own, and I think it actually fits the large aesthetic of the vehicle quite well. Fun thing about the cannon here, of course I can elevate it, I can depress it, I can do a full 360 degrees with it, but I can also exchange it for other weapons. So if I take that off, I can put on a 50 caliber / tow launcher. So that fits on right there. The 50 caliber I'm using here is a minifig cat weapon. I like it because of the scale, and it suits my needs quite well. So I can mount that on, and also this does, it elevates and it depresses and all that goodness. Or if I want to get slightly featurey, I can do an automated tow launcher, unmanned tow launcher system right here, which is kind of fun to play around with as well. So there's a bit on that. Now, replacing the autocannon back up here. If you're wondering how I fit figures into this vehicle, because, well, let's be honest, those doors aren't exactly the most roomy ways to add figures, that's easy enough. Pop. Off goes the roof. So yes, the whole roof is snotted construction, and it pretty much just lays flat on there. It's not connected to anything, it's just placed down on there. So looking into the interior now, you can see that there is indeed room for 4 minifigures. You get your driver up there, you got your navigator with a printed tile for some, I don't know, radar, radio equipment and whatever, and then you get 2 passenger seats in the back. So as I said before, figures equipped with gear and everything, helmets, they can actually all fit into this vehicle, which I won't do it here because it's a pain to do, like so many other things about this vehicle. I love it dearly, trust me. But yeah, it's just a bit of a hassle. But anyway, I think that about covers the vehicle. Actually, no, one more thing. You may notice the fender design here. This fender design is fairly common on all my vehicles these days. My armored SUV video, the build has it there. The Ford Raptor build I have also uses it. I just find it to be a very workable design. Oh, and also, how I said it's sort of like a Joint Light Tactical Vehicle, the JLTV. It's got an angled hull. So you can see those cheese slopes down there, sort of the angled hull. And if you're unfamiliar of why vehicles have angled hulls, that would be for mine IED blasts. The angled hull deflects the shockwave and explosion. And it's a safety feature. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video and hope you enjoyed the build here. Now, I actually have two other variants of this. I've got sort of a pickup truck version and then a medevac version, which I don't know when I'll get around to posting those or making the videos for those, but that's just something you can look forward to. But anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, like the content, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. But I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.